like the Kellz, we gotta let them know. When God would have shield for me his head. When God would have shield for me his head. Ballin' like the Kellz, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.
Well, happy Friday. I hope everybody Friday is going great. This is your boy, Kellz. Welcome to another edition of the EnDaZone Sports. I'm your boy, Kellz, once again. You can follow up. You can watch me on the EnDaZone, on the Diva Spivey Media Network. Also, YouTube. You can don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let's get this cracking. The first order of topic is the Thursday night recap, Arizona versus the Seattle Seahawks. The game was very good. Colin Murray was kind of messing up then, but he threw 2 interceptions, which was not his fault. Marvin Harrison Jr. have to catch the ball, but it was a great comeback. They came back. The Seattle defense is really legit. The defense held Trey Benson under, 60 yards rushing. The defense was going really well for Seattle. Sam Darnold is coming back. I think he should be the comeback player of the year. How he just went over to Seattle and got them started. The game started really well for them. The running game, Kenneth Walker, is losing some touches to Charbonnet, but Charbonnet got the touchdown. I feel as though that Seattle should be able to maintain their running game. Clint Kubiak over there has got them boys doing well. How do y'all feel about the game last night? It was a great game. It was a thrilling game. Unfortunately, the kicking game, they let up. They gave up that one kick in the zone. It should have been a kick out of the end zone. At least they could have started on the 20, 25, 30-yard line. Instead, they started on the 40-yard line, which gave Seattle a chance to come back and kick that winning field goal. But how do y'all feel about things? If there's a comment, and let me know how y'all feel so we can engage in some common comments. But other than that, Seattle did a great game, did a great thing. Colin Murray, once again, threw no 2 interceptions. The one interception he threw was poorly bad thrown. Marvin Harrison didn't go after it. The other interception, that was on Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison should have caught the ball. No, I don't think his talent is, Mr. Spike, I don't think his talent is being wasted in Arizona. I think that the offensive coordinator needs to learn how to use him. They need to be more proactive on him, running the ball more. Also, getting Marvin Harris engaged in the offensive scheme more often early on. But no, his talents is not wasted there. He also have to be at fault because sometimes he don't feel like Colin Murray don't be more energetic or get them boys together. But his talents is not wasted. I feel as though Drew Pestic should be able to use him more, utilize him more in the run game, get more design plays for Colin Murray to use his leg, because his leg is what got him into the league, which also get him out and rolling out so he can see the other half of the field so he can better off throw the ball to his open receiver. He got Trey McBride involved in the game, but Marvin Harris has to catch the ball. He has to catch the ball. They have to get the run game. They really miss James Conner. Trey Benson only had a couple of good runs for his first start. I thought they were going to utilize him more in the run game and the passing game. It seems like on third down, they brought in the second running back. And so I don't understand why they didn't use. What's up, JD, how you doing, man? I don't feel that they utilize Trey Benson enough. But the Cardinals also defense is playing very well. They held Seattle to a couple of no games, a couple of sacks. They played them really well. They stopped them in the quarter, but they gave up that great pass to Njiba, who set up the game-winning touchdown. But it should have went in overtime. The losing of Connors will affect the run game a lot. people don't fail to realize that Connors was a very good running back. He was at heart and soul. He gave up. He gets them going. He a very powerful running back. He breaks tackles. He also catches the ball out of the backfield very good. Connors is what they needed. Trey Benson, this is only his first start, so we have to see. But losing Connors is a big thing in Arizona. Arizona will need to pipe up that running game, get Murray going, get Harrison going. At least get Harrison going. You have to get Harrison going. Michael Wilson played well too, but they have to get Harrison going. With Harrison going, the offense will flow more. It will open up more lanes for McBride, open more lanes for Wilson, open more lanes for Dortch. I like how they use Dortch in the running game to offset losing Connors. But that loss of counters is going to affect them down the line because we really don't know what's going on with Trey Benson. We have to see if Trey Benson is ready to get that bulk of work. But the second running back, Emerald did very well. He came and he scored that late touchdown. It saves a lot when the second back is in the game in crucial situation. So hopefully the Cardinals will get that together, to get that offense together. Marvin Harrison, you need to catch the ball. You really need to catch the ball. Unfortunately, that interception was not good on Kyler Murray stat line, but Drew Pesic needs to get Murray more involved in the game. On Seattle, Sam Darnold did a great thing. At first, they couldn't get Njigba in the game, so they was going to the tight end Arroyo, which is a rookie, did a very nice thing. Kenneth Walker is losing touches to Charbonnet. And Kenneth Walker was supposed to be the man, but it seems like Charbonnet is taking over that running back thing. Yeah, of course I didn't like the piece. I had Kyler Murray as my fantasy quarterback. Of course not. That's why I'm blaming it on Marvin Harrison more than what happened with that. But Kyler Murray has to throw that ball well. Kyler Murray has to make good judgment. I think Seattle can be a threat because of their defense. Their defense is playing really, really well. They front four is great. Their corners are great, leading by Witherspoon. They lock down. They rush the passer. They do everything great. Mike McDonald got that defense running on every cylinder. They stop the run. They rush the passer. So they're going to be a contender in the West. I picked them now to win the West. But, that's how it goes. See, Seattle have to stay on top. And Njigba going to be nice. Sam Darnold, I thought he was going to mess up in Seattle, but he looked like he's going to be a great quarterback in Seattle. Seattle got a real good one there. He's on time. His timing is great with Njigba. They need another wide receiver because Cooper Kupp is washed. Cooper Kupp is really washed. I'm sorry to say that. Maybe that boy Horton, who had that run back last week, will be able to take that second wide receiver slot, but they need another wide receiver. And the two running backs they have, that Clint Kubiak is installing, it seems like Charbonnet might be taking that running back position from Kenneth Walker, because Kenneth Walker was not in there a lot last night on the goal line. They took Charbonnet, and lucky for the Cardinals, they took that one touchdown back. What do Arizona have to do in order to be a contender in the division? Good question. I think Arizona have to get Kyler Murray back to what he was doing best in the years of Cliff Kingsbury, rolling him out, using his legs, making adjustments on offense. What's up, Juju? I think they need to get him outside more so he can see the other half of the field, because, he's small in nature, but they're not using his talent running-wise. Drew Pesic, the offensive coordinator, needs to get Marvin Harrison in motion more. I feel as though they got him running too much free down the line. I think they need to get him some screenplays, which ironic, they started off with a screenplay but never did it again. They gave it to Dortch, which I understand he's the punt returner type, but they need to get Marvin Harris more engaged in the game by throwing him the ball early on. Okay. So with that said, great game Thursday night, but Arizona just lost that game with that kick. Well, now we're going to the WNBA playoff, the Fever versus the Ace. Well, when the Fever won the first game, they beat the Ace by 16. They really took it to the Ace. They stopped Alja Wilson for scoring 20 points. That's why they went. And Chelsea Mitchell really scored. They don't play. Don't have Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is out, so Chelsea Mitchell have to be that scoring threat. But they have to win. Game 2, they came out a little funky, and Ace boat raced them. So with Alja Wilson with that 24 points a game, Alja Wilson is the MVP. So she gonna play the game. So Boston and Natasha Howard have to stop Alja Wilson from getting that points and make Lucy Hall and the others beat them. But game 1, the Indiana Fever played well. Game 2, it was Alja Wilson and the Ace. I feel that game 3, I'm gonna take the Ace because the Ace are the better team. Alja Wilson again is the key to that team. They have to stop her from scoring. That means whatever, by any means necessary, Chelsea Mitchell gets to score. She is the leader of the scoring on that team without Caitlin Clark. The Ace just have to do what they've been doing. Give the ball to Alja Wilson. You know, she the 4-time MVP winner, the only WNBA player to ever have 4 MVPs. That's her. That's the best player on the team and in this series, because without Caitlin Clark, the Fever have to score, and only scorer on their team is Chelsea Mitchell. So they have to stop. They have to stop Alja Wilson from scoring. But all the Ace have to do is keep getting Alja Wilson the ball and let her do her thing. Alja Wilson is the best player in the WNBA right now, and that's how it goes, and that's how the Ace gonna win, by Alja Wilson scoring the block and playing defense. Alja Wilson also is a great defensive player. People don't give her credit for that. She was also a 3-time defensive player of the year. Also, everybody knows she's the 4-time MVP. Alja Wilson will win this series for them. The X factor for the Fever will be Chelsea Mitchell. Chelsea Mitchell is the leading scorer for the Fever since Caitlin Clark been out. Also, I feel that Boston need to score a little bit more points, even though she got a tough assignment against Alja Wilson. But Chelsea Mitchell is the X factor of this game, because before, when they played game 1, she scored 34 points, and that was key. And in game 2, she only scored 13. So with her scoring, and with Boston and Natasha Howard trying to defend Wilson, I think Mitchell will be the key to winning this series. But they have to stop Alja Wilson from scoring, have the others, Lucy Hall and all them, try to score the ball and play better defense and shoot the ball better. Natasha Howard and Landon Boston have to score, because the second game they really wasn't scoring, and they got boat race because they let Alja Wilson score a lot of part and let Lucy Hall get off. But Chelsea Mitchell need to be the X factor for the Ace to win this series, for the Fever to win this series. So Chelsea Mitchell, you have to do it, because Caitlin Clark is not there. So yeah, Mitchell is definitely an X factor. I think, and she came a long way. People don't know her as much because they had Caitlin Clark, but once Caitlin Clark went down, Mitchell took on that leadership role of scoring, and that was the best thing for the Fever, because the Fever now got 2 scorers. Man, delivery, I don't understand why New York let go of Sandy Borrello. She was the all-time leading coaching in victories for New York. I understand that this year in New York is all about winning championships, but she's the one who got you there. But she also was battling Sabrina Escu injuries. her top players was injured, and they still went to the playoff. She a great coach, so that's the Liberty loss. You do not fire a coach who is winning, who took you to a last year. She won the NBA, the WNBA championship. So how do you fire her? I don't understand that. But the Liberty think that because she didn't win it and she didn't win it this year, that they was gonna fire somebody in the WNBA will be getting a great coach and Sandy Barrero, and best wishes for her. She will get another job. But Liberty, I don't understand why. That was dumb, really dumb. Now to the Mercury and Lynx. The Mercury, Phoenix Mercury came out. The second game they came out little full of themselves because they won game one. They blew them out game one. But I mean, Minnesota won game one. Mercury came out the second game a little tense, but they came back and won. That was a great comeback from the Mercury to win that game. They played well. Alyssa Thompson played well, coming to win that game. Back down by 20. Thompson and Sullivan played really well on getting them back into the game. They played great defense on the pitch of Collar and Kalina Copper. So it was a great game that they finally came back to win that game. They was down by 20, but they showed a lot of great things in that game by coming back. They showed their willingness. In game 3, they're going to have to come out strong. They're going to have to hit their shots. That means Kalina Copper and Alyssa Thompson and Solid Body going to have to really make their shots. They will have to defend the pitcher Connor, who was almost MVP. I feel as if she didn't get hurt, Collar would have been an MVP along with Ezra Wilson, meaning that they was close. But I would have put Collar because Collar was doing her thing in the beginning of the year. She was doing way better than Ezra Wilson until she got hurt. But in game 3, the Mercury need to stop Collar on the other end. Also, they need to hit their shots on the Lynx part. The Lynx that's got to keep doing what they do, feed the ball, move the ball, have Collar do her thing, and make sure everything is right on the offensive end by hitting them great shots and making sure they playing great defense. On the Mercury end, they have to, once again, I repeat, they have to make sure they make their shots and play good defense. And Thompson and Salabari and all of them played well. But the second game was a great comeback. That game was thrilling. Game 3, the keys to them winning is they got to play defense. They cannot get down because if they get down again, the Lynx go blow them out. The Lynx got a really good team. I rank the Lynx organization a very good organization because they know how to scout talent. They won a lot. Back in the day, they had Maya Moore. Maya Moore was a great player. And now they got Collar. So that organization knows how to look at women basketball players and scout them and bring them to their organization. I would say they're a top organization in the WNBA, along with maybe the New York Liberty because of Barolo. But the Lynx knows how to bring in talent. So they up there. They're the number one organization in my mind because they won a lot. They won with Maya Moore. They won 4 with Maya Moore. And Maya Moore was a great player that brought that organization to a great things. Excuse me. On another note, they another great pick by them. They got the pitcher Collar. Collar is a beast. She almost won the WNBA MVP. Who you have winning both series? Okay, well, I have the Lynx winning this series, and I have the Ace winning that series because they have the 2 best players in the WNBA this year with Wilson and Collar. I would like to see them 2 clash to see who is the better one. Collar is the new girl on the block. Asia Wilson been there and done that. So let's see who will win this. Me personally, I think the Lynx will win. I think the Ace will win because the Ace, once again, is the veteran team, has one of the best players in WNBA history, and Ezra Wilson. Ezra Wilson played great defense. Napersha Collar played great defense too. So I would love to see them two battle. That game gonna be really, really good. But in that series, I would be picking the Ace. I am picking the Ace to win it all. The Ace got a better team. They've been rolling since the playoffs started. It started off in the regular season. The first game they lost was the first game of the WNBA playoffs. I think they was just not in sync that game. The fever jumped on them really, really early, but they was coming into there with a win streak. So with that win streak, the Ace rolled the momentum, and I think the Ace is having the best player in the WNBA will win the series. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Like I said, Napersha Collar was having a great year until she got injured. Unfortunately, they gave the MVP to Wilson, but Collar was a great second pick. Collar played really well this year. So we're gonna go to the other topic, the NBA playoff push. Can the Guardians hold on to the Central Division? Yes. The Guardians came back from a 15-point lead. The Tigers is on the rope. I believe in momentum. The Guards got the momentum. The Guards is playing their best baseball right now. The pitcher staff is doing great. The starting pitcher, since Voigt went to a 6-man rotation, the Guardians have been winning. The Guardians is 16-2 since September 4th with the rotation, with a 6-man rotation. J. Ram and Marzano been hitting clutch. Even Bo Nader been beautifully calling games with the pitchers. Gavin Williams has got a 2.5. When everybody thought, because we lost Emmanuel Clase, that the bullpen would fall, but the bullpen has been great with Cade Smith as the leader of the bullpen, closing out games. The pitcher staff is, once again, Steve Voigt will be manager of the year this year for getting the Guardians back to the Tigers to even come close to giving the division. I was just thinking we might just catch the Houston Astros, which we caught the Houston Astros in the wild card. But to get to the division, man, that's a great thing. Other than that, I feel as though the Guardians back. We need another back. Unfortunately, David Fry got hurt on that pitch because we need that right-handed batter to offset some of these left-handed pitches. The Guardians is on fire. I think they can go far. It depends on their pitching. If they pitching, because in baseball, pitching wins everything. And right now, the pitching staff of the Guardians is very well. I'm looking at the playoffs. The Yankees pitching. They got their ace. I think Gavin Williams, as our ace, can go against any other aces. Let's say who hold on and make the playoffs. How far can we go? I say we could get to the American League pennant. I feel as though we could at least get to one step closer to the World Series because we have Seattle number. We always play the Yankees bad. In some way, in some form, we always play them bad. I'd rather see Seattle. Seattle got a great catcher, got a great team. They pitching is so, I feel. But they hitting is good with Julio Rodriguez and Carl Raleigh, the catcher. But I think we could get to the American League pennant. Yeah, the Yankees. Yankees got Stanton, Judge, a whole host, Chisholm, a whole host. But you can beat the Yankees. The way you can beat the Yankees is hold them in the park. It's hard to say that because of that left field porch in New York. See, so with that left field porch in New York, you have to hold them, so you have to pitch the ball well. If you can hold New York in the park, New York has no other option. They don't know how to move the runners along. They have nobody who can steal bases and manufacture runs. They have big bats, so they depend on being patient at the plate, taking a walks, getting man's on base, and then bam, Judge or Stanton or Chisholm or other big bats hit that home run. But if you can pitch them well and keep them in the park, you have a great chance of beating them. So the Guardians have a great chance because they pitching once we can get to 5 innings, I think our bullpen can set us up and win. So if our starting pitchers can get us to 5, the other half of the innings, the bullpen will take it home because we got the best bullpen in the majors league, and our batting is a timing batting. We are Marzardo, Brown, Rico, they are hitting right now in cuts. We have the best ratio right now of runners in scoring position with 2 outs, meaning that we get our people home with 2 out, which is very clutch. So they need to get runners on base. The Guardians need to get runners on base, keep hitting the clutch, and make sure they lead the ball in a lead the ball, make sure that the other team don't hit home runs. Then we will be able to go to the American League pennant because we got the best bullpen and we got the best pitching right now, and we hitting in the clutch. If any more questions y'all have, let me know. The MVP race, we're going to another topic. Sorry, the MVP race is down to Judge and Releigh. I have Carl Releigh, the only catcher in Major League history has hit 60 home runs. I mean, Eric Judge is good. He batted 338 first in the majors. He hit 51 home runs, which is a nice. He only got 109 RBIs. Rely on Carl got 60 home runs, 125 RBIs. He's second in the major in RBIs, first in home run. His batting average is not too, but all he do is hit home runs. He only hitting 247. But I have Releigh because the Seattle Mariners also won their division. He helped Seattle win their division. Now, the Yankees is in the tie with Toronto, but if it was a tiebreaker for me, Raleigh hit more home runs than Judge. He had more RBIs, and his team won the division. We don't know if the Yankees going to win the division because Toronto they tied for first right now, but I will be picking Carl. If I have a vote, I'm picking the catcher for Seattle, Carl Releigh, because you will never see another catcher hit 60 home runs. And also, he's a switch hitter, which means he hitting both sides. He hitting both ways. He hitting them home runs. He hitting them in clutch situation. He got Seattle where they got to. Seattle should be a threat in the division in these playoffs because of him. I have Releigh winning because of them stats I just put out. But Releigh is the best player in Major Baseball this year. I'm taking him over Shohei Ohtani too. Even Ohtani is pitching both ways, but he hit 60. I mean, you're never gonna see again a catcher hit 60 home runs and a switch hitter hit 60 home runs, and he got Seattle because nobody really want to talk about Seattle as a threat to anything in Major League Baseball this year. Everybody was talking about the Yankees. Everybody was talking about Houston. Everybody was talking about, the Guardians. Guardians was up there too, but we knew we might have to take a step back because our pitching staff wasn't where it's at. But I have Carl Raleigh, if I say this name right, Riley over Judge this year because he hit 60 home runs. That 60 is a very, very hard thing to do. And for a catcher, you know how a catcher has to bend and call the game too. He's sitting there, he's squatting there for 3 hours. That's a hard thing to do, to squat there for 3 hours and catch the ball. Pitchers throwing 90 miles per hour, you jumping up and down for bad balls in the dirt, and you have to squat for 3 hours. It did go up there and hit, and then you hitting for 60 home runs. That is a feat that we will never see again. And in the playoffs, yeah, that's hard. 60 plus. I mean, it's been done. You got your Babe Ruth, you had your DiMaggio's, but they weren't catchers. That's the key. They didn't squat down for 3 hours and then had to go and hit a ball. Even Aaron Judge played the outfield. He's standing out there waiting for the ball. He's not diving for the ball. He's not trying to stop 100 miles per hour fastball. He's not trying to block an 89 curveball in the dirt. That is hard. Congrats to Riley, because that is a hard thing. First catcher in Major League history to hit 60 home runs. That's a feat that we might not never see. again. But yeah, I'm picking Raleigh for MVP. NBA. Let's go to the NBA. The Cavs. Our poor little Cavs, man. You know, Garland out to begin the season. Strus is out begin the season, but the Cavs gonna be okay because what Kobe Altman did was build a great team. They can move Mitchell to the one. They can move Sam Murray, which was a great signing. I love Sam Murray. You can move him to the two. You can also bring in DeAndre Hunter as the starting small forward to offset Strus, missing Strus, but we might be missing his defense because DeAndre Hunter is not a great defensive player. Then you still got Mobley, you still got Allen. They brought in Lonzo Ball, which was a great pickup. I like the trade. I always stated that we needed to trade Isaac Isaac, but I feel as though I would have traded him for a small forward who can score. But Zoe is a great backup because we lost Ty Jerome. It was a great backup. We picked up Thomas Bryant, which was another great pickup, which, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, Hunter is a two-way player, but he's not a great wing defender. He's not, to me, my opinion, he's not a great wing defender, but he can play defense. He's adequate at that defensive position, but Matt Strus can really play the defense. He can get off of picks. Hunter got to be a little bit more stronger in his rebounding. But Hunter is a great two-way player. I like Hunter because he can score. That's why I like Hunter for. Zoe, I love Zoe. Zoe is really our true point guard because Zoe, man, is to get everybody involved. He'll be great with Mitchell running with the second team. When Donovan sit down, then you have to bring in another scorer, which I will go out and try to look for another one. I like to pick up a Thomas Bryant that give us toughness. That also makes us think that we might can get rid of Jared Allen, maybe. I don't. Then you can move Nance Jr. over to the power forward position. You can move Mobley into the five, and then we can get that underscoring small forward that we need. We need another small forward that can score. I like DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench. They give us another scorer off the bench because now Merle has to start. And the only other scorer we have on our bench maybe is Dean Wade. Dean Wade is up and down. He's very inconsistent. One day Dean Wade can score, and next day he forget how to shoot the dang on ball. But with Zoe coming in as the point guard, we can allow Mitchell to go to the two, and Mitchell can go ahead and do what Mitchell do. Mitchell is a great player. Unfortunately, the NBA don't think so because they ranked him the 15th best player in the NBA, which is, I don't know, I can't name whoever they had on the 14. The number 14 was wrong. I understand that, but the Cavs gonna be okay. They're gonna be. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard coming into the season because we're gonna miss Garland and Struth. But I like how Altman came back with Zoe, came back with Thomas Bryant, came back with Nance Jr. to offset that loss, them points that we lost with Garland and Struth. Struth is coming back maybe in 3 months. We really don't know when Garland's coming back with that toe injury. I think Mitchell will stay. I think Mitchell will stay because Mitchell is a loyal basketball player. Plus he under contract. I don't think the Cavaliers will be able to get back what they really need to get back if Mitchell asks for a trade. But I think Mitchell like Cleveland. I think Mitchell really like Cleveland, and he will stay because I think Mitchell is that type of player that want to win where he at, and he feel that the Cavaliers got a good team. We just need to surround him with a little bit more scoring, just to take the heat off him when he need to be Donovan Mitchell, in the fourth quarter. In the first half of the games, we just need somebody else to pick up the scoring. I feel great about Mobley. I feel that he developed his shot really well last year. That corner 3-point, the elbow 3-point. He also improved his dribbling, bringing up the ball, his rebounding. One more thing his defense is immaculate. I am not worried about Mobley's defense. His offensive game is getting better. His post up is getting better. He need to get a little bit more stronger, a little bit more meaner. I mean, but that's Mobley. Mobley is not a mean person, but Mobley talent. This is what, fourth year in the league. His average went up. I feel as though if Mobley can be that scorer, can be that net scorer, who can take that off of Mitchell in the first 3 quarters, Mobley can have about 20. I think if Mobley can average 25, 12, and maybe 6, the Cavs will be great. Mobley has to be the best player on that team because Mobley is the youngest on that team. Mobley is the most talented player on that team. Mitchell is the most talented, but Mobley is the talented. What I mean by that is Mobley is the one who can take us to the championship. Mitchell can get us there because he's a vet, but Mobley can take us to the championship by the way he play, how physical he is, how he rebound the ball. The defensive aspect of it is great. I feel he played better at the center position than he played better at the 4. That gives him he can run the floor more quicker. He can protect the paint more better. Mobley is the best player. If Mobley becomes the best player on the Cavs will win another NBA championship. I firmly believe that because then you can have Mitchell do his thing in the fourth quarter, miss the fourth quarter comeback, miss the fourth quarter. You know, that's what we need Mitchell to do. We only need Mitchell for the fourth quarter. First, second, and third, we need Mobley. Fourth quarter, there you go. We need Mitchell. We need Donovan. I think Garland have pressure because how it ended last season, and you know everybody been on Garland's case. I mean, everybody heard the rumors. The Pelicans wanted Garland, but the Cavs didn't. The Cavs couldn't come to an agreement on the compensation they want for Garland. Garland making that big money. I like Garland personally, but Mitchell and Garland need the ball in their hand. Mitchell have subdued his wanting the ball more and trying to develop Garland into that killer. Garland sometimes has a tendency to fade away. I don't understand because he's so talented with that ball in his hand that Garland can score. Garland can shoot, but sometimes his shooting just disappear in crucial situations. He had to get that taken care of. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if he don't believe in himself, but he have to get that taken care of. Garland pressure is up here because I think everybody now see that we got Zoe, and if Zoe stay healthy, you can easily put him in a starting position, and have Mitchell go to the 2, and then you have the 1-2 combination. You know, Zoe go give Mitchell the ball, and then you have a guard who don't need the ball in his hand, just set up other people. But Garland, this is your year. Garland has to play better. Garland has to stay healthy. If it's not his nose, it's his rib, not the toe. And I love Garland, but Garland injury history is weighing on me now that I think about it. I feel as though he needs to stay healthy for us to become what we need. With Garland healthy and playing well, the Cavaliers are a threat too. Garland is a great player. I mean, all-star player, a great shooter, he facilitate the ball well, but he don't show up in crucial situations. I think Ball can be that Holiday, meaning defensive wise. Shooting wise, he has to work on that game. But defensive wise, yes, I think Ball can guard any position from 1 to 3 because he's a great defensive player. Now, what drew Bron to the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, when they won their championship, was toughness and game-winning shots, meaning he hit clutch shots. Do I think Ball can do that? I have not seen Ball done that. But on the defensive side, oh, yeah, Ball can do that. And on the offensive side, facilitating and giving people a ball, yeah, Ball is great at that. He could be that Drew Holiday on the defensive side. Yes, great defensive player. Great, but on the offensive side of the ball, he could give Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, if Allen playing Allen, and Merle open shots. Definitely Merle. He definitely get Merle open shots on the 3-point line. I'm looking for that from Ball. But yes, Ball can be that Drew Holiday on the defensive side. But offensively, I don't think he do it. Championship pedigree, I don't think Ball have it, but he can go ahead and help defensive wise because that in that area last year, we needed somebody to check Halliburton. We needed somebody to check Nick Smith. Them boys was hitting all those shots against Indiana. We needed somebody to sustain that type of player, but we didn't have it. Ty Jerome just washed out. Ty Jerome was a regular season player. I liked the Ty Jerome. I thought Ty Jerome, would play better than he did in the playoffs, but he fizzled down. So, with that said, go Cavs. We're going to the next topic: Browns versus Lions. This week, unfortunately, I have the Lions. The Lions are playing well, but I feel the Browns would play better than what people expected them to do. I feel that Montgomery and Gills are now going to run the ball like they ran it against Baltimore. I don't feel that way. I feel that the Browns will stop Montgomery and Gills. I feel that the Browns will hold them under 100-yard rushing. I feel that the Browns corners go have to play. They gonna have to. They pick it on the second cornerback. Greg Newsom. You gonna have to play better because you gonna be going against Williamson. Denzel Ward gonna be on St. Brown. That's a great matchup. St. Brown is a great wide receiver. Jared Goff. If you pressure Jared Goff up the middle with Mason Graham, and we got the best defensive end in the world, and Myles Garrett rushing the passer. So we need to pressure Detroit. If we pressure Detroit, if we can stay within a good distance with them, meaning we can stop them and do not let them score too many touchdowns, hold this going into the fourth quarter a 3-point lead or a 3-point lead. Because I don't know, our offense right now is not scoring no touchdowns. Unfortunately, our defense got to do everything right now. Our defense got to manufacture more turnovers. We don't have to have Goff throw us a couple of interceptions. But the key to the game for the Browns is to stop the Lions from running the ball. Yes, I think Junkins can duplicate his performance. Junkins, I always said that once we get Junkins back, the offense will look a little bit better because now we can set up the pass and pass better. With Sampson and Ford, nobody want to worry about our running game. So Flacco couldn't set up, or Stefanski or Flacco couldn't set up the pass game, which is our offense. Now that Junkins is back and he getting 4 yards, I say 4 or 5 yards per carry, now you can call it 2nd and 6, 2nd and 3 is better than 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 11 because we get a stop in the backfield. I feel that Junkins is going to have a great game this week. I feel he might be rushing for. We might see our first 100-yard rusher this year. I feel that Detroit is not that great stopping the run. I think Detroit only can blitz now. I mean, they still got Ezra Hudson. Hudson is bad, but is he really back from that broken leg? He is a little slow. I watched him last on the other game. The dude from the number 96, I'm not going to try to say his name, Muhammad, that's what his name. But he rushed the passer real well. But they are also low on corners. Their cornerback is not that great. Teron Arnold is getting burnt. He got burnt. Every time I looked up, he was getting burnt by Walker, which Baltimore put in a third-string wide receiver. I don't know where Flowers at, but that's another thing. But we will have to set up. We will have to set up the pass, and I think Junkins will do that. Mason Graham is doing a great job. Last game he had a 43% rush rate, meaning that he was 43% of this time he got to the passer, but he didn't get credit for the sack because maybe they threw the ball away. He is the reason why the run defense is what it is. He clogged up the middle. Carson, the linebacker, then hit whatever gap they need to stop. Miles coming off the end and stopping, but Mason Graham is a great pickup for the Browns. That was a great trade, as everybody can see now, because Travis Hunter right now is struggling, and the Jazz, they don't know how to play him, which I felt that the Browns wouldn't know neither either he a corner or a wide receiver. But right now, right now is a great pick because Mason Graham doing this thing. Now, fans, because you don't see it in the box scores doesn't mean he's not doing his job. His one job is to clog up the middle, to have the linebackers go for the tackle. Mason Graham gonna be great rushing the passer. He gonna start getting these sacks. He getting close, but Mason Graham is doing a great job for the Browns and stopping the run. He's doing a great job. I like the pick. At first, I was kind of leery of the pick, but Mason Graham is doing a great job. Man, I said Flacco last game was last week. I feel as though Gabriel give us the best chance to do something different with our offense, give us that spark, have Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman more excitement to run off or get off, or try to get open, because right now Flacco is a statue. Flacco cannot evade the rush. I don't care if it's one rush, two rush. He just cannot evade the rush. I feel that Gabriel will be able to avoid the rush. And also, he was built for this system. He also is a timing type of quarterback. He gets the ball out really quick. Flacco is holding on to the ball too much. You cannot tell me that there's nobody open. Maybe he don't see the first read, maybe the second read, but he has to get rid of the ball because he has no mobility. Flacco has no out of game. I'd have put in Gabriel last week. What I like about Gabriel is that his timing. He's a very accurate quarterback. His timing is good. Gabriel also his mobility. We can do more naked boots. We can run a read option with Junkins. There you go, with Junkins. We can do the read option. We can't even do a read option with Flacco because nobody is not willing to take that fate. All they gonna do is stop and try to tackle Flacco. But Flacco, yeah, I'd have bet unfortunately, Flacco is 40, but I like Gabriel. Gabriel will bring that new blood, that new enthusiasm. Us fans, I want to see something new. I want to see us do naked boots. I want to see us do read option. Right now, we cannot do a read option. That's why we got 3 tight end sets, because everybody's loading everything in the box. And it's hard for our running backs to get off because they do not honor Flacco. With Gabriel, they probably will honor it. At least they will have to consider his running. His running is the key, and his timing. As you saw in the preseason, his timing is good because he can do a 1, 2, 3 step, and he already looking at his first. If his first read ain't there, he onto the second read and he gets the ball out. Flacco right now is not doing that. He putting himself in jeopardy. Also, it pains me to watch him run. It pains me to watch him run. We just need we just need a new quarterback so we can run the offense better and the Joku can be better. The only way Shedeur will see the field, unfortunately, is injury. Unfortunately, that means that Flacco and Gabriel got hurt. If we see Shedeur, I think Shedeur would be good in this situation. I think Shedeur is ready to play. I think Shedeur will get his chance, but it will not be this year. It will not be this year. Once Flacco leaves, they have an open competition again with Gabriel and Shedeur. I think Shedeur might come in next year more with more fire, with more grit, because we want to play. Not saying he didn't do it this year, but all the noise will be over. He had one season under his belt under a coach that, other than his father, I was a firm believer that I would like to see him how he take coaching without his father. And it seems that Shedeur is taking great coaching. He's standing in the building late. He's doing a great thing by doing that. He's trying to learn. He's trying to do the things that will put him on the field. But I don't think he will see the field this year. It will have to be an injury because Gabriel right now, the Browns like Gabriel. The Browns really like Gabriel. That's why they picked him in the 3rd round, because in their mind, he fits what Stefanski like. Stefanski like a quarterback on time. And Shador shows that he like to ad-lib a little bit, and he had to ring that in a little bit more. But I don't think we'll see Shador this year if it's not an injury. But once you never know. This is NFL. Flacco could get hurt tomorrow in practice, and Gabriel can get hurt in the game, and bam, here goes Shador. So I hope that don't happen because that means damn, we gotta get another backup quarterback for Shador just in case he get hurt. I'm getting tired of quarterbacks. I'm getting tired of quarterbacks. But Shador will play. It's just not his time. Gabriel and Flacco is the one, but I would like to see Gabriel get his chance, and then we'll move on from Shador. The next topic is NFL week pick'em games. I have my pick'em games for y'all. The first game, let me get to it right now. Sorry about that. I had it written down. All right, the first game is the Vikings versus the Steelers. The Vikings versus the Steelers. I have the Vikes winning this game. The Vikings defense is the truth. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old, and the Minnesota will be blitzing him. Unfortunately, they're going to blitz him. But we'll see because the one thing Aaron Rodgers can do is decipher the blitz, so he might be able to beat the blitz. The second game is the Commanders versus the Falcons. I had to change it. I did have the Commanders. I thought Jaden Daniels was going to play, but Jaden Daniels is not playing this game, so I'm going with the Falcons. The Falcons got to come back, bounce back. I don't know what the Panthers just destroying them 30-0. I don't know what happened to Michael Penix, Bijan Robinson, but they will have a bounce back game. The third one is the Chargers versus the Giants. I'm picking the Chargers. This is Jackson Dart first game as the starting quarterback, and going against that Chargers defense is going to be hell because they're going to be blitzing them. And I would like to see how Jackson Dart, because Malik Neighbors is playing, but he's kind of injured, if they're going to try to run the ball with Cam Scalaboo to get that pressure off of Jackson Dart. But I'm picking the Chargers. The next is the Titans versus the Texans. I got the Texans is a battle of an 0-3 team. The Texans defense is going to be the reason why I'm picking this game. Texans got a great defense. They got to figure out the offensive side. C.J. Stroud the last 2 years, unfortunately, his offensive line is not playing or blocking well. Nico Collins is getting double teamed. They got to find another wide receiver. They drafted 2 wide receivers, Higgins and Noel, but they're not doing nothing right now. And C.J. Stroud is struggling. But I'm still picking the Texans because of their defense. And Cam Ward is just getting developed, and he needs another that veteran wide receiver. Calvin Ridley is not doing nothing. But also Tennessee changed their offensive coordinator. Mike Cunningham gave it down to the OC. Let's see how they come out calling the game. The next one is the Eagles versus Bucks. I'm picking the Buccaneers because Baker Mayfield is playing well. Baker is playing in an MVP pace right now. The three comeback wins, but the Eagles losing Nolan Smith on the defensive end go kind of calm down the pass rush. Unfortunately, I don't know if Tristan Wirfs is playing, but I think Chris Godwin's coming back because Mike Evans also is not playing with that hamstring, but he got Emeka Egbuka, another Ohio State wide receiver. The next game is the Panthers versus the Patriots. I'm picking the Patriots. Unfortunately, Drake May is playing well, but the other people around him is not. Stevenson is having these fumble problems. They're not getting Henderson involved, but the Patriots are a better team defensive-wise than the Panthers, and I think the Panthers' defense is not going to be able to stop Drake May because Drake May is playing well. The Saints versus Bills, this game, everybody know the Bills. This might be a boring game because the Bills might be up 35-6 like Seattle was last week against them. New Orleans, Spencer Rattler has not won a game this year. Repeat, has not won a game this year. So if he don't win this game, I think they should go to Tyler Sharp. What y'all think? The next game is the Browns versus the Lions. I already said the Lions, but hopefully the Browns can keep it close until the fourth quarter. And if it's close, the Browns can eke it out because the Browns now know that they got a kicker is in clutch, even though he missed the first 2 kicks in Cincinnati, but he made the one against Green Bay. That was great. The Jazz versus the 49ers. I have the Jazz, even though Brock Purdy is coming back. I feel that the Jazz defense is playing well. They lead the league in turnovers, and getting turnovers, and I think Brock Purdy with that shoulder injury and his toe injury might not be able to sustain that. The next one is the Colts versus the Rams. I have the Colts. Oh, come on. Froze up.
Like the Kellz, we gotta let them know. When got it with a ship for bees head. When got it with a ship for bees head. Like the Kellz, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.